Namaste, friends, and I hope you're doing well. Well, let's talk about Saturn in the second house. The second house is a very important house. It's called the Dhana Bhava. Dhana means wealth, but most importantly, the second house denotes family. How well do you be connected to your family? What sort of emotional attachment would you have towards your family? It's a very important house because family is everything when you come to think about it. So Saturn, when he controls or when he resides in the second house, naturally the native or whomever has it would naturally be very rich, abundance in wealth, because Saturn's principle is it's very discipline oriented. It's like the go-getter personality. Those hotshot salespeople would normally have Saturn in their second house because that shows their ability to surpass any adversities in front of them. They'll just break the barriers and they'll keep moving on, and that creates a lot of success in their life naturally, right? So yes, abundance in wealth, that's very important. Saturn also they're very prudent when it comes to investments. They are, in real life, these people are known to be stingy. They're very, very stingy. They are prudent in the investments. They just don't buy it. They're very practical people. They don't buy anything if they don't want it. And when they make investments, they go for the lower risk investments. They don't try to, let's talk about share market. So they will go for naturally the bonds and the huge funds. They would not go for the day-to-day punting, share tradings and all that. They would not do that. Even if they buy, say if they buy a house, they'll make sure they look through every possible property scope and how well it's going to be fruitful for them before they sign the documents. They are very, very particular when it comes to buying anything. Personally, they can be very stingy. Okay, and all this stinginess, prudent, and all this money matter approach that these people have makes them very rich. Actually, they're very rich. Okay, so Saturn in the second house also makes a person very religious in their approach. They're highly religious. They try to strike the balance. You see, when it comes to, let's say they are approached by a religious association to build a temple, for example, they will go all out about. They'll spend a lot of money in the name of charity and donate a lot of money to build the temple. They always have a positive side towards religious matters. That's their propensity. That's how their behavior is. They always treat religion with high respect. Doesn't matter, any religion to them is important. They have a very broad minded when it comes to religion, but their own faith comes in precedence, of course. So some people say that, or rather traditional astrologers would say that if you have Saturn in the second house, you should be in the finance line. You should be a banker or an accountant or a tax auditor or something like that. It's not true, actually. What it means is that you are good in organizing your financial scope. Okay, you know exactly what to do, where to invest, how much to save, what not to buy, and all that. So it doesn't actually matter what job you're in. Okay, when it comes to job, it's always good to analyze the 10th house and also how your sun is positioned in various houses. Also Mercury, very important. But if someone says if you have Saturn in the second house and you should be in the finance line, don't take too seriously about it because that's not how we look at it. It simply shows that you have the ability to hold money. You have very good money sense. Okay, for the lack of a better word. So that's also something I wanted to say. Now, when it comes to education, you're a true advocate for education. You'll make sure that even if you're not educated, you'll make sure your kids or people surrounding you would be highly educated. So the people, those wealthy people who have Saturn in second house, they also not only support religious buildings, but they also build schools. That's it's not a surprise that a lot of people do that. And people with Saturn second house are also very, very practical in their life. They don't fall easily in for speculation. When someone comes and say, hey, the market is going to fall, there's going to be a drought in the next 6 months, it doesn't shake them. Okay, it doesn't move them in any way. They are very stern in the ideas. They're very hard. They're very bold in their approach, and they don't take rumors or speculations very seriously. It's like if they don't see it in their own eyes, they're not going to believe it. That sort of mentality. But naturally, not only of the second house, naturally in any house, Saturn has that strength. Saturn has that ego, pride. It has that boldness within them. Okay, they do not simply take any form of speculation. So in the second house, naturally the house of wealth and family, they will tend to have that same personality applied to that areas of the second house as well. So when it comes to family, here's the important part. When it comes to family, these Saturn in the second house are very possessive about their family. No one should say anything about their family. Okay, they'll get very rebellious. They get very angry. They'll do everything for their family. They'll make sure their family's welfare is taken care of, and they go into minute details. Like say if you have this and you are the wife, so you'll make sure your husband's welfare is taken care of. Your children, you'll check your children's school homeworks, everything you'll check. You'll make sure that there's everything is right in order, from their diet plan to sports to how the family should approach your goal. You have a goal for that family as well. But not only family, Saturn always makes a goal for everything. Every part of your life, you have Saturn in the second house. Not only the family, but every aspect in your life, you'll have a goal. You'll have a purpose for everything, and you try to push towards that purpose. So when it comes to family, you have a definite purpose. This is where my family should be heading. This is how my son should graduate. This is how my daughter should do well in her life. This is how my husband should be, and so on and so forth. You have a plan, and you'll enforce that plan to your family. So regardless of you being a husband or the wife, the kids will have normally a hard time, because you're a disciplinarian, right? Your family will see that although you're loving, naturally you're a very loving personality, but then if it's time to do homework, then it is time to do homework. No TV, no nothing, that sort of things. If it's time for you to go for your exercise, that's what you should do right now. Don't do anything else. That's sort of very uptight, strict, like a drill sergeant, right? They're always on their toes to make sure that everything is in order. Especially if you have Mercury exalted, then it will be even great. Total 100% disciplinary. Everything is order. Even the fork and spoon has to be properly aligned. A true. It's not obsessiveness. If Rahu is afflicted somehow, if you have these combinations, then you will be impulsive, obsessive, and all sort of issues pops up. But then naturally, if you have Saturn in the second house, when it comes to family, you tend to be authoritative, you tend to be possessive, and you have a common goal for them to achieve in life. Okay, that's a little bit about what I think. Of course, it can go on and on. It's just a little bit. I've mainly scratched the surface about what Saturn would do to you if you have in the second house. So I hope it's been beneficial. Stay tuned for more videos. Till the next time, thank you. Namaste.